Hello and welcome to The Slam. It is show 3 of Sports Tonight TV's weekly wrestling show. I am Jim the Anvil Smallman, as it probably says underneath there. Different nickname every week, that's how we roll. And I've got 2 guests in the studio this week. First of all, I am joined by my good friend Rob McNichol from The Sun. How are you, Rob?
I'm very well. No nickname for me then. Just you as the host, is that
Rob
right?
the...
Conway.
I'm fine. I'll stick to one.
Conway.
I'll stay without one then if that's the if that's how we go.
And you may have heard the dulcet tones of my second guest. Fantastic comedian, one of my comic heroes, and a lovely chap and a brilliant wrestling fan, the wonderful Mr. Brendan Burns.
I'd like to be Brendan the Dulcet Burns.
Brendan the Dulcet.
The Dulcet Burns, or the answer. Brendan the answer Burns.
The answer's quite.
Yeah, the
Brendan the
answer works.
solution.
The fire still.
Did you ever talk about UFC on this?
No, but
Did you see there was a guy, what was his name? He upgraded his nickname to, like, it was previously Mark, it was something like quite generic, like the answer, let's say Mark Anthony or whatever. He says Mark the Answer Anthony, and then he changed his name to the God of War. In the middle of it. So that's a big upgrade.
Step up, isn't it?
That's a big upgrade. But not only that, do like other gods get like really grumpy and like, you know what? I've been around for 10 years. How did he get God of War? This is BS, man.
he's been playing it on...
I've been God of Traffic for 12 years.
All I reckon it was is he bought a PlayStation 2 game about 5 years ago. Now, I have to ask you 3 very important wrestling questions.
Great.
Also, if you do like UFC, we have got a programme on Sports Tonight called The Cage. That's what's known as a link. And the 3 questions...
I bet there's some gypsy men hosting that. British cage fighting.
I have to ask you 3 questions. 3 questions
Yep.
that I ask everyone. Rob got asked these last week. First of all, is to establish your credentials. I know your credentials, but you know. Number 1, favourite wrestler of all time?
Mick Foley, probably.
Excellent answer.
Can I answer why?
Yeah, of course you can.
Because he legitimised it. In that, when his book came out, up until then, everyone was like, "Oh, it's it's fake, it's this, it's that." This guy tortured himself so much that he legitimised it and went, "Look, the outcome is very real. You can't fake." And, you know, like he always says that it upsets him that people say that Hell in a Cell was their favourite match, and he's like, "Really? I did so much other artistry." But it's like, I don't know if he knows this or not, but it made life so much easier for a wrestling fan to basically point at it and go, how do you fake that?
That's the first match, the Hell in a Cell match, when I worked with Mick on his comedy tour, the first match I showed my girlfriend to explain why I like wrestling was Hell in a Cell, and she was like, okay, and I'm like, I like it for many more reasons than this, but this is one of the reasons this guy's such an icon. I mean, you mentioned Have a Nice Day in your book as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. Fear of Hat Loss in Las Vegas. Available at Amazon.
But he's just, I mean, the man's a hero.
And he did, it sounds odd to say legitimised. And then it was kind of after that, people then complained that it was too violent. But, and like many fans as well, I think after Beyond the Mat, I didn't want to see him hurt himself ever again.
No, I mean, we were talking about this before, about, how it's nice to see, we'll come on to this more, but how it was nice to see him at the Rumble, but it is,
I was really pleased to see him pull a sock out. Really pleased that when he said, I don't want to be the guy that just, pulls the sock out of his trousers. I'm like, when it gets that much of a pop and that much joy and you're having a Cobra sock off.
Yeah. You should definitely do it. Quickly,
Cobra Sokolov was a wonderful Russian wrestler, by the way, if no one's ever seen him.
He competed in WCW in a long time. 2 other quick questions. Favourite wrestler at the moment?
CM Punk.
Excellent answer, because being straight edge is obviously the way forwards.
Yes. Although probably a lot of caffeine if you look at those eyes.
Yeah, to be fair.
I would hazard.
The Pepsi logo. And final question, favourite match of all time? It's a tricky one.
It was widely criticised by self-confessed smart marks, which I think is a hysterical moniker to give oneself.
Yes.
It's a complete oxymoron. Because I don't know if they know that the mark is based upon the carnival days when wrestling, was, to con people. So to sit there and declare yourself a smart mark, really?
Doesn't really work.
Really, are you?
It's a clever idiot.
Yeah, exactly, an accountable victim. Is the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart Iron Man match.
Excellent match.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Match.
A lot of people said there wasn't enough high spots, but I saw Bret Hart's breakdown of it. He said, but what we wanted to do was have people have the fanfare, and then what we really wanted from the room is slowly but surely people sitting down in their seats and just all transfixed. So there wasn't as many high spots as people might want in today's day and age. But they said they wanted to go out there and have people really quietly engrossed. And that's what I was. I was watching it on my own.
Even
I
if you watch it,
there was no falls.
Even if you watch it now, for that whole hour, people are wrapped with attention. And that's back when people weren't expecting that from the WWE. Speaking of what people were expecting, last week we had a guy on the wall called Matty. Now, Matty predicted his outcome from the Rumble. We got everyone to do this last week. I was wrong. I predicted Jericho.
I had The Miz.
You had The Miz?
I did.
Are you insane?
Well, I just thought a Miz CM Punk feud made sense.
Yeah, I suppose.
And someone hasn't broken the Mysterio thing for a number of years. But at the same time, I had my doubts. I figured it was going to be The Miz. He was going to be out of the ring at some point, and he was going to do the old hide under the, not necessarily hide under the ring, but a kind of a Ric Flair.
Classic heel tactic.
Yeah, and then also I figured he had to be out of the ring at some point for Triple H and Undertaker to be in there together. But that didn't happen, but that transfixed last night.
The many intangibles of being a wrestling fan trying to
I know, exactly.
But wait, we can show a bit of a video here. This is Matty last week actually giving us his predictions. So we'll roll the video, have a look at Quick prediction, who do you think is going to win?
Royal Rumble, I'm going, I can't see past either Jericho or a dark horse. I would be Sheamus. So Jericho or Sheamus, I'm going to look.
Sheamus has never been called a dark horse before. He has never, ever been called a dark horse. Very important to point out. Now,
which also, I think, like, in this day and age, wearing a T-shirt that says The Great White, it's probably a little harder to do that in England.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think, like, okay, everyone gets it over there of like, well, he's just a pale Irishman. But I reckon if you wander around London in a Great White shirt,
I'll be honest, apart from the tattoos, I'm quite pasty. I mean, you could give him a run for his money, Rob.
Yeah, I think I probably could do, actually.
That's not where I was going with. That's not where I was going with that, but all right.
On the wall is Matty. Hello, Matty.
Are you very pleased, are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a man who is
Smug.
Yeah, I didn't want to say smug.
Did you have money on it?
No, but I decided to basically tell all of my friends that watch wrestling, just going and going, by the way, I called the last two of the Rumble, and I have it on tape, so no one can deny it.
Yeah,
so
that is the annoying thing.
But how many versions did you do of that tape?
7 hours to
there was
shoot.
one that was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, but I think I got lost somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got like different haircuts and everything.
Starch.
I did think Sheamus was it was a 3-horse race. All the way, wasn't it?
I like Sheamus. I think the nice thing about this is that they've gone with someone that not everybody. I was on Twitter on the day. People kept saying to me, "Who do you think's going to win?" And I kept saying Jericho, but I feel it's too obvious now. And really, they kind of it's a good.
Although they teased the feud last night, didn't they?
Yeah, which I think
they double swerved us, which is well, usually the Wrestling 101 is the guy that dominates every week. What doesn't win the Rumble? Sheamus was the odd-on favourite and then won the Rumble. So they completely swerved everyone, and that was generally Sheamus was a pluck in another bad term was generally a stab in the dark for Sheamus.
He's running with that motif, isn't he?
You're trying to get as many anti-puns in as possible when you get in touch with us.
I aim to please. That's basically my point.
What mark would you give the Rumble out of 10? I'll ask Brendan and Rob as well. I mean, what would you give it out of 10?
Different Royal people. I gave it an 8. I really enjoyed the Royal Rumble. It was one of my favourite Royal Rumbles ever. Some reason I just really found it so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think they stacked it well with the humour up until about the 16th entrant, and then they went, right, everyone who's in here now might win.
Well, any Rumble where you don't know who's going to win, is always a plus.
I totally agree.
I think it was a lot more not legitimacy, but the fact that Sheamus won helps future Rumbles because it doesn't feel like, oh, we know it's going to be every year.
Yeah.
And I think next year you go, well, I think it'll be him, but oh, actually Sheamus won last year.
It's kind of
I quite like how it will help it going forward, really.
It's a happy story as well because it more than makes up for him and Daniel Bryan not being on the main show last year.
Yeah.
So it's got to be him versus Daniel Bryan, sure.
Actually, I saw a really good post on a Facebook forum about that saying this time last year, all the internet fans were going, "Oh, this is a disgrace. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan not on WrestleMania. It's an outrage." A year later, "Oh, it's a disgrace. Sheamus winning the Royal Rumble. We don't even deserve
They're
it."
never happy, are they?
No one's ever happy.
Ever.
Do you ever read Power Slam?
I've read it a few times.
God, they're miserable, aren't they? They are so miserable. Of just like, what WWE needs to do now? They're a listed company, you muppet. You're a fanzine at best. Really? Really? You're going to give CEO advice?
Are we going to scratch the editor coming on the Skype all in Seg 2 now?
Yeah, we power slam off. Matty, we have basically got you on just so you can crow about your victory. So we will bid you farewell. But thank you very much for getting in touch, mate. And also, next pay-per-view, we'll get you on, see if you can be the whole sort of shamanistic person that you seem to be.
Are we doing winner stays on?
I'll aim to please.
Yeah, winner stays on.
Winner stays on.
Winner stays on.
You've got to predict Elimination Chamber now, so get working on that. We'll get in touch a couple of weeks' time. Boom, you'll smash out your previews for us again, mate.
Lovely stuff. I'll check the Sports Almanac.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Matty.
Correction, he means the sports entertainment almanac.
Yeah, there is no actual Sports Almanac. Biff Tannen wasn't real. Rob, you went to a Royal Rumble party.
I did.
My
yes.
Royal Rumble party consisted of me and my agent sitting in a room with some Pringles.
You have those Royal Rumble parties a lot, don't you? Almost every day, in fact.
Yeah.
I sat downstairs with my headphones on so I didn't wake up the missus.
You went to a party with various other people, and you were tweeting about it. Some very amusing tweets, in particular the whole "somebody call my mama" change. Somebody fax my nan.
I think someone sent some smoke signals to my second cousin. I think came up at one point.
That was a good one. But you also you made some videos, didn't you?
Yeah. The longer the night. Well, I should point out that there were 5 of us, and we were all tasked to dress up as a current or previous
Who did you go
WWE superstar. I came as the since it's tax season and I'm self-employed, I came as IRS.
Nice.
So I haven't spent a long time doing my tax return. I thought I'll honour him by.
That was
by
my
coming
wife's
as him.
favourite wrestler.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because everyone hated him and she liked the underdog.
That's fair enough. Yeah. So I believe you've recorded some promos.
Yeah, as the drinks started to flow and as time went on, then we decided that we could do our own Rumble. We started to watch some old Rumble clips on YouTube and found some of the old music and yeah, I think you're going to show it and embarrass me, aren't you?
You know what you should never do is you should never sit in a room with 2 wrestling fan stand-up comedians about to appraise your attempts at humour. So cue the tape.
Tonight in St. Louis, it's the Royal Rumble match. 29 tax cheats enter, and they all pay the penalty of going over the top rope, because there are 3 things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and that Erwin R. Shyster will be in the main event of Wrestlemania. Hey, I'm one half of the Rockets, Joe Michaels. It's 1990. I've not really found a personality yet. Marty Jannetty is my tag team partner, and we got 29 of the guys. Well, I got 29 of the guys, and if Marty Jannetty, you're one of those, I'm going to be the winner of the 1990 Royal Rumble. And you can, I haven't got any catchphrases yet, so keep rocking and rolling.
I know what you're thinking. WWE Champion CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. Why? I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna win this. Challenge Daniel Bryan. Oh, this is not alcoholic, by the way. Carlito winning the Royal Rumble. Not cool.
It's the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to get all those perpetrators, round them up, and bring them Southern justice, Southern truth, Southern hard times, 29 bodies, over the top rope, and the big boss man is going to Wrestlemania about that WWF World Heavyweight Championship, and you can believe that, you'll be serving hard times.
I particularly like the fact that everyone committed to doing an American accent.
Yeah,
apart from the guy who did CM Punk as some kind of New York Jewish lawyer.
CM Punk is Australian. The Tommy that was doing that is from Australia. So how good your American? Can you do a CM Punk accent?
No, I can't. But he reminds me a lot of Craig Campbell, who's a Canadian comedian.
Right.
Yeah, that would work.
Who does actually behave like they look and sound and talk very, very similarly.
That's a good point. We will talk more, our friends, about the Royal Rumble and a particularly fantastic edition of Raw last night after these messages. We will see you in a couple of minutes. Somebody call your mama. I'm Jim Smallman, welcome back. Part 2 of The Slam, episode 3. I'm joined today by 2 guests, Rob McNichol from The Sun, awesome stand-up comedian and wrestling nut, Brendan Burns. We watched a video of the...
Oh, we're still on that, are we? I thought we might have left
Yeah,
that.
well,
Okay.
yeah, just because there's been a break, it doesn't mean we can't ruin you.
All right, fair enough.
I think you brought Carlito back. You got to wonder, at the writers' meeting, like when they've got a new guy coming in and they're going like, right, we've got a third-generation wrestler, we want some heel heat. What do you really... And like someone goes, apples. Oh, I hate apples. And then like, what, you choose an apple? I hate that guy. Hate that guy. How does that get through any kind of filter?
No, well, this links, because we're going to talk about Raw, and on Raw this week, they seem to establish the entire heel persona of Daniel Bryan on the fact that he's a vegan.
Yes.
But he didn't describe a vegan, though, did he? He described a vegetarian.
Because
He
they
got
said,
it wrong.
I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
And
He did, well, surely a vegan doesn't have eggs and dairy and so on and so forth, and he didn't even mention
I didn't
that.
say meat, did he?
He said, I just don't eat meat. So.
yeah, but also as well, I think
Vegan Nazi.
it's been a long time since Jerry Lawler has said something so quotable, where all of a sudden Michael Cole actually starts sticking up for Daniel Bryan and doing the job that a heel commentator's meant to do with a heel.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I think someone's
It's
actually gone
slowly.
Oh yeah, you know what you're meant to be doing.
Well, that's right. Oh, I know what you're going to say about the Jerry Lawler thing.
Yeah, it's the banana thing where he said because he said oh, Daniel Bryan he should be admirable. He's a hero. He doesn't eat meat. He only eats fruit and vegetables. And then he goes, well, how would you feel if you were a banana being peeled?
Yeah, peeled and then somebody eat you.
I think he may have said a poor innocent banana, just to rub it in that much more.
I thought it was the kayfabe. I thought you were going to talk about the kayfabe breaking moment.
No.
Of when and he goes and he cheated to get here and he's being and he's doing it underhandedly, and then Jerry Lawler goes, hang on, isn't this the stuff that you normally admire in someone? Wait a second, aren't you supposed to be? And then like he started snickering.
Plot holes.
Yeah, well, I mean they're knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are, like, Cole is the most knowing commentator of, because he just snickered when he said that, and he went, well, I'm slowly coming round to him. It's like, we're just going to do a gradual thing of, no, I'm just going to say it. Well, I'm slowly turning heel along with him.
It's like the world's slowest heel. So it's even slower than John Cena's, but we'll come to that in a minute. Joining us on the Skype wall is Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hi, mate.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you very much. We're going to talk WWE things with you, my friend. I presume, did you watch Raw last night? First question.
Yes, I stayed up. Yeah.
So we're not going to give any spoilers away now.
No.
Obviously, we do take this on a Tuesday. So I got up early this morning to watch it. Brendan, you stayed up late to watch it.
Very tired.
Very tired,
Yeah.
man. Rob, did you watch it live?
Yeah, pretty early morning, about 8 o'clock this morning.
Early morning. Firstly, did you enjoy it? Because I think we can universally say we all quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
Last night's Raw?
Yeah.
I stayed up late because I figured Taker was coming back.
You see, you're the only. You two are saying you called it. Did you call Taker coming back, Jay?
No, not at all. I did not see that coming at all, actually. Not so soon, anyway. I thought maybe after Elimination Chamber he'd return, but not last night, no.
Yeah, I've got to admit. I mean, I did think something was amiss when they did the whole Triple H, Johnny Laurinaitis promo at the end. But I just thought that was just down to the fact that Triple H's ego means he can only go on at the end. That was all I thought was happening. But I genuinely marked out for it. I was like, I'm not even a big Undertaker fan, but I went crazy for it.
I thought there was a chance.
Got up.
When Punk came and attacked Jericho, it kind of ruined it. But before that, I thought there was a chance that Triple H was going to not fire Johnny Ace, and then Punk would take issue with it, and that would lead to the Punk Triple H thing that got rumoured during the week. But of course, when Taker came back at the end, It's full ahead both. I like the idea that someone wrote. I think it was Wade Keller in the Pro Wrestling Torch that said when Undertaker was pointing in the sky, maybe he wasn't pointing at the WrestleMania sign. He was actually pointing to Sting, who he just saw hiding in the rafters, just at the top.
No, I'd like it better. It was actually just some guy in the crowd, and that guy.
The only way I can go 20-0 is if I wrestle that dude from Missouri who just stood there
in the bleachers, in 313. Hang on.
Now, Jay, a lot of people are talking about it being a match of the year candidate early on for. It's certainly in terms of free TV for the CM Punk Daniel Bryan match. I mean, I'm going to presume as a fan of wrestling that you enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved it. I thought, well, I've been waiting to see that for like quite a long time. I mean, shame was on the pay-per-view, but I mean, it was great to see it on free TV. I really loved it. Yeah.
I think as well. I think we were talking about this in the office before, Rob. I think that they've given it away for free just to keep pushing Bryan, because Bryan is now getting over. I mean, he did at the Rumble. He had a fair bit of offense in his match, because I think most people going into it would expect him to just be thrown between the two big fellas. But he did actually put in a bit of offense, and they need to actually start putting him over as a killer. I think, which
Bryan, which they are a bit.
They're starting to get there.
He's still over anyway. He was still the most over guy in the match. We're talking about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean, the chance. I mean, even last night, the chance between him and CM Punk, that started to be split.
They need to give him the cattle mutilation back as a finisher.
That would be
What's
nice.
that then?
His finisher in Ring of Honor.
Was that from the top rope with the
No, it's
knees
a
on the chest?
submission move, but it's kind of like a lying full Nelson. But it's such a good finisher. Well, I'll show you in the office afterwards. It's a great finisher. And do you know why I think they should give him cattle? This is linked into something I want to ask Jay. That I'm big on my video games, Jay, as I'm led to believe you are. Now, have you got WWE 12?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Now, the cattle mutilation's a move in that, isn't it? You can actually use it as a move, which is very exciting. But also, I'm led to believe that you create your own characters on wrestling games, and you've got some beauties.
Yes, I've created a few. Yeah, they're different.
Give us some examples of the characters you've created. The main reason I'm asking this is Martin, our producer, is screaming in my ear that you've got some crackers. So some examples, please, my friend.
Well, I've got BDB, which is a Big Daddy Barker, kind of myself.
Nice. And, you've got to create yourself. Yeah. It's a rule.
I'm sorry?
It's a rule. You've got to create yourself.
Well, yeah, it's a rule, yeah. I generally create my own friends, actually, and kind of make them larger than life.
What finisher have you given yourself? This is always a moment that...
Bit controversial, but it's the crossface, actually.
It's very controversial. Now my producer's going, move on, Jim, move on.
Can I ask, Jay, have you aligned yourself with any of the divas? Because that's what I've said to find. I'll just make Kelly my girlfriend on this program.
I really haven't, but I'm thinking about putting Alicia Fox there, actually. I'm considering it. She looks a bit like Rihanna, so that'd be quite nice.
Dude, you can.
I'm going to have to tap out. This is too nerdy for me. I'm tapping out.
Jay, you can only have Alicia Fox involved with you if you stop her from ever wrestling again.
That would be a good idea. Oh God, I saw her at Royal Rumble. She was getting choked out, and she was screaming while getting choked. I thought that doesn't make sense. Why are you screaming while you're gasping for air? She's a bit stupid, but I mean, she looks good.
Someone tweeted when I was watching the Rumble on Sunday, and I forget who it was. I'd love to be able to give credit to this tweet. I think it's someone who watches the show. But it was a brilliant tweet that just said, 8 beautiful women are now in a wrestling ring, and every single man in the arena has gone, oh, for God's sake. which does kind of sum up Divas Wrestling. Looking ahead to...
Why would you watch Divas Wrestling when there's porn on the internet?
Yeah, it's a perfectly good point. The best bit was Jay looked around then as if to go, there's porn on the internet.
Wait a second.
Why am I wasting my time talking
What
to you?
year is it? What a time to live.
Jay, before we let you go, mate, who is, WrestleMania-wise, are you looking forward to it? I know it's a couple of months away now.
Yeah,
but
definitely. I'm excited to see it. I think even though they're looking to do Triple H Undertaker again, it should be good if they get Shawn Michaels involved as referee or something. But obviously everyone's looking forward to Rock and Cena, so it should be good.
Yeah, please let Cena turn heel. Thank you very much, Jay. Thanks for joining us, mate, on the Slam.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, dude.
I'm going.
I know you're going.
Look out for my signs. We were the Randy Orton Orangeometer at last year's one.
Was that you?
That was me. Actually, wait. Actually, my wife will go nuts. It was actually my wife.
See, 2 years ago, when we last sort of worked together, we were doing a talk in a college, weren't we?
Yes.
Which was a weird place. But we were doing this talk, and I had tickets to go to WrestleMania, and you were going to WrestleMania. And I think we actually were going to be sitting quite close together, and then I couldn't go. But you've been, how many in a row will this make it for you?
This will be my third or fourth.
Nice.
Third.
And it's because you were saying it's a big, because you've obviously got your
Now,
your
yeah,
son and that,
we've made a pact between me and my son and my nephew, and my wife that
Yeah.
we're going each year.
which is
My wife goes to wrestling with me, and she's hot. Hey,
You
hey, what do you
win.
think of that, nerd boy?
You win at life. That's like your checklist when you were growing up. Do comedy? Check. Watch lots of wrestling? Check. Have hot wife? Check. Hot wife that likes all of these things?
I'm in the home stretch, baby. I'm 40 years of age. I'm doing all right.
What match are you looking forward to most at Mania?
Well, I actually you see, I enjoy the lead up just as much. And I'm enjoying the Cena kind of willy-wonny heel turn thing. And I'm a sucker for Cena as well, because are you a dad? Have you got kids?
Yeah, I've got a daughter, yeah.
You got a daughter?
Yeah.
Does she like Cena?
No, but she knows I hate him.
But like by proxy, it's a bit hard to boo a guy. Well, I was at Mania last year, and it's a bit hard to kind of go along with the crowd when they boo a gospel choir. You know, in Atlanta, it's like a gospel choir comes out, and everyone's boo, and you're like, what is wrong with you? We're like, oh, boo, I'm a cynic, boo, I'm such a cynic. You're booing a choir. Grow up. But, you know, I'm as much of a rock fan as anyone, but I'm also a sucker. I'm a big sucker for the heartstring vignettes. Like in the ring, and there is the argument I think you put forward in the last show, didn't you, that he is already a heel?
Yeah.
Because he is.
If you
To
boo
those
someone, he's a heel.
people, if someone boos you, and also you continue to do the things that make people boo you, and I think as a worker as well, you know, from a subtextual point of view, he is working people on a subliminal level that they're not even comprehending.
But also as well,
Because he's doing everything that winds them up.
he gets booed more than Ziggler. I noticed this the other night. Ziggler gets less heat.
And that's what I return to my original point, is as a parent, anyone that makes parenting easier for you, you know what I mean? And there aren't that many role models, and there's someone that commits to, I mean, you know, blah, 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 hustle, blah, 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 the army. All right, whatever. Right? But someone that still instills a sense of work ethic. And that also commitment to principles.
Yeah. Well, you can't knock him for
Anyone
that.
that puts that out there and your kid gets into them, by proxy, you still kind of go, all right. But, you know, the Square George superhero act is what gets under everyone's skin.
The vignette that they played the other day at the Rumble, where they were pointing out all the stuff he does for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I think they were genuinely doing that to make his heel turn even more shocking. I think they were doing it because Hogan still did the Make-A-Wish stuff when he was a heel with NWO. You know, you can still do that sort of stuff. You know, Triple H is doing it.
Yeah, there are heels that do it. Oh, what I was going to say, and it would be interesting to you, I'd imagine, Jim, is when they had CM Punk preaching to everyone that he didn't drink and he didn't take drugs, and that was supposed to be reasons to boo the guy.
Yeah.
And that feels kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? And it's
There was a kid I saw at the Free Fringe in Edinburgh doing what was it? Confessions of a Smart Wrestling Fan. And it was a brilliant bit he'd come up with. Lorcan McGraw or something. You had him on?
I know the show you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and he showed non-wrestling fans wrestling characters and asked whether the crowd was encouraged to boo or cheer them. And of course he came up with a pimp. And it was like, well, they cheered him. And then it was an Olympic gold medalist. No, they boo him.
boo that guy. Yeah, a mortician. Yeah.
I will be honest as well, the Kurt Angle music works very well at dealing with hecklers when you're gigging with Mick Foley. It's very good. We've got to have a quick break now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with more from Brendan and Rob. We'll see you in 2. Hello, welcome back to part 3. I was going to do a wrestling move, but I blatantly chickened out because I can't throw a lariat convincingly across the studio. Hi, Jim Smallman here. You're watching The Slam. Welcome to part 3. Joining me in the studio, Rob McNichol from The Sun, awesome stand-up comedian, Brendan Burns.
Awesome.
Awesome. I have to say that legally, mainly because he bought me a great big pile of presents earlier on, which was lovely of you, Brendan. Now,
did you pick you said you saw the So I Suppose This Is Offensive Now DVD, yeah?
Yeah.
You got that. Did you pick it that it was a wrestling
No, I picked it because I mainly picked it because it was. This is going to make me sound like a really bad fanboy now. I mainly picked it because it was you.
No, but I mean, when you were watching it, did you go like, "This guy's a wrestling fan"?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I use a plant, and it utilises quite a bit of wrestling psychology in it.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you see, we can seek each other out. I think that's the thing. I've done this. Well, I've been at gigs with other comics, and I've kind of known they're wrestling fans without either of us ever saying. And a lot of comics are wrestling
It's a
fans.
secret handshake.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's
wrestling version of
definitely like
gaydar,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You get that kind of like...
It's a well, and let's face it, it's pretty similar.
Massively similar.
I have way too much semi-naked male writhing on my DVR. You ever sit there sometimes every now and then Randy Orton comes out and there's just too long a shot on him and you're like...
All right, and best looking wrestler of all time.
What?
Best looking wrestler.
No, look, enough
Let's,
is
let's
enough.
really homoerotic this up.
I'm
We're
tapping
doing,
out.
We're doing male wrestlers, aren't
Best
we?
looking male wrestler of all time.
Oh, man alive.
I know who I'm going with. I know who I'm going with.
You've really put us on the
CM,
spot.
I'm
here.
going with CM Punk because
You like to look like him.
I'd love to look like him. Martin, our producer, is just saying he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
So, well, hang on. So,
Which makes it sound like Martin's looked
how
at
do
him
you feel
too
when you're around Craig Campbell then?
much. Aroused?
Yeah, I was going to say. Hey, look, the man knows his way around lumber.
He does. He is.
He can wield an axe.
He's the ruggedest man.
Well, every comedian as well, if the apocalypse comes, we'll all turn up to Craig's place. And Phil Nichols said to him, as another comedian friend of ours, said, the apocalypse comes, I'm turning up at my place. And he goes, do you think if the apocalypse comes, trust me, I'm the last guy you want to see? I'm busy hoarding.
On the wall here, we have, because obviously myself and Brendan, comedians by trade, and comedy can be used effectively in wrestling, as I think we've mentioned already. The Rumble, there was definitely big swathes of it that were very amusing. Obviously, we got the two gentlemen on our screen there.
This was actually the high point.
Yeah,
for me.
That and Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ricardo pulling up in his battered car when everyone was expecting Del Rio was just a wonderful
His
moment.
celebration as well had me in stitches.
Yeah. Well, like even his punches, because he was just fighting like that, which is hilarious to watch.
I love it as well when they corpse.
Yeah.
When they corpse in the ring, I really like to watch them enjoying themselves. I really like watching anyone enjoying what they do for a living. And when they crack up in the ring, when something like goes slightly wrong or someone fluffs something, I really get a big kick out of that.
Yeah.
And I think no one in the arena could keep a straight face.
No, I mean, the other thing is, I mean, you can tell when wrestlers are enjoying their job. I mean, CM Punk's a great example of someone who looks like, and Daniel Bryan, I think.
And Brodus Clay, that's why Brodus Clay's working, because he just looks like he's having a riot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is true.
It does work as a gimmick. I wish they'd
It was
let him
such a
wrestle
surprise, wasn't it? Because they teased him as an animal for
also,
months.
he should be. The man's a tank. The man's built like an absolute tank, and someone's gone to him, you all right doing this? But the rumour that he came up with the gimmick as well, isn't there? That's the
Well,
rumour.
no one's done the Rikishi/Godfather gimmick for some time now.
No. And I've got to be honest, I've had
Staggering lack of genitals, though. If we're going to talk about homoeroticism, staggering lack of genitals. Like everyone, like when he first came out and he tore the pants off, everyone went, "Hey, oh, you really? You okay with that?"
The thing I like as well is when he wears his different coloured tracksuits. Yeah, if he wears the red one, fine. Green one, fine. If he wears the white one, we all know he now can't remove the trousers because he's messed it up twice.
Twice
now.
he's done it. He did it again
and he does that thing where he stamps on it afterwards. Where I know that's meant to be a sort of a flourish at the end of his move, but it's really him going, "I hate you, tracksuit bottoms.
Yeah.
I hate you for doing this."
If anyone can hate an apple more than they can hate
Well, so he came up with basically a big gay bear character.
the BGB.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? No.
But he said, like, you know what? We haven't had a Prince Albert for a while.
But he's doing excellent. Prince Albert's doing great in
Yeah, he's
Japan,
Giant Bernard
isn't he?
in
Japan.
Japan, yeah.
And he's tremendous. He's treated like Vader over there. He's
Yes.
absolutely amazing.
done a good job.
Speaking of funny wrestlers, throw it out there. Funniest wrestlers of all time. If we had to compile a list.
If in terms of comic timing and so forth, I don't think it can be anyone apart from William Regal. I thought what he said on Raw this week when he did the my daughter's being locked in the attic or whatever. No one else could get away with that.
Yeah.
His delivery and the way he does it is just.
Can you do an
Well, it's
impression of William Regal?
Can I do an impression of William Regal?
It's quite easy to do. You don't need to be able to speak, but he's got very certain facial expression that he does when he's
Well,
disgusted. That's it.
His voice is very different when he speaks in real life. He actually sounds a bit like Stephen Tompkinson.
He's from Stoke. He's from Stoke, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Blackpool, isn't he?
It's very much. Let me tell you a bit about psychology. And it's a very kind of gruff voice he's got, and then when he comes on TV, it's much different, of course.
I want him to do stand up because if you follow him on Twitter and do follow William Regal on Twitter, he talks a lot about old British variety and because he spent so much time in Blackpool, old school stand up comedians, and he's really into comedy. So I sent him a message on Twitter going, you should do stand up, and he's like, oh, maybe I'd do like a talk about how wrestling used to be with Robbie Brookside, who I've met a couple of times because he lives in Leicester.
I would say you're part of the world.
And I just thought I'd pay money to watch. That'd be brilliant, especially if they started talking about World of Sport.
Something I wanted to ask you guys, really, because obviously comedians by trade, when you see them very obviously trying to do comedy, I mean, not something like the Ricardo thing, which was a moment, but when they're standing there and almost trying to do a funny line and they're dying, do you guys just think they should just never ever try that, or do you think that there is a place for it, but it ought to be, they ought to be more educated on it?
I howl at bombing anyway.
Yeah.
I think death is one of the funniest things. I'll tell you, if you haven't lived until you've had a room full of people booing you just because you tried to amuse them. They're just like, if audiences knew how stupid they look when they do, they would never do it. But then again, I've got a social disorder where I literally look at the room going, what? You are embarrassing yourselves in front of me right now.
Do you turn into their parents?
I really do like going, no, I've stopped gigs and
it's
gone.
Your own time you're wasting.
Yeah, I totally go like this is you. You are messing this up so bad. You morons. So, which is why I am where I am in my career. This is why I'm a niche guy. Let's call it that. And I also think, you probably agree with this as well, the two art forms are the most comparable. Yeah. Steve Austin said in his book, didn't he, that it's like the closest thing is to stand-up. It's the only other art form where they adjust what they're doing based on the crowd, but they have bits that they do and kind of talk, work their way through it based on the audience response.
Well, I remember Mick Foley describing people like Kevin Nash as the tallest stand-up comedian in the world, and you can definitely see certain wrestlers just walking,
just funny guys,
straight into it. I mean, Colt Cabana does stand-up, and
he's a Chicago comic, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's led to believe he's pretty decent at it.
Yeah.
So we're going to come now to your WrestleMania predictions.
Yes. Well, I thought that since it's the day after the Rumble, when things start to come together, I thought I'd do a little bit of a prediction what the card could look like. There's probably one or two too many matches on there, and I've not really stuck my neck out on.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll quickly go through match by match. I mean, obviously, John Cena versus The Rock, we know we can't really add anything to that. We know it's going to happen. Undertaker, Triple H, Brendan, do you think there's any chance of that not happening?
No.
No, it's happening.
It would require one of their heads falling off in a very freak accident. That's a pretty good call.
Do you know what?
All the way down.
I think if Triple H's head come off, he still wouldn't want to come out of the limelight.
No.
Do you think they can tease Barrett Orton for another 6 weeks?
Well, that's probably one of the ones that's the most weak on there. But I think Orton has to have a match on his own. I don't see him going in Money in the Bank, so I've given him that one because...
No, there's no Money in the Bank.
No.
They've said they're keeping it on the pay-per-view.
Oh, I thought they said that there was
much
more of a chance of being on Mania this year. So
did they?
They've got to find a use for those kind of guys.
I thought they didn't want to water the gimmick down.
I prefer it at Mania, I have to say. I thought that Mania lacked a lot of pace last year. And athleticism.
No! Really?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I was there, though.
It's very different when you're there.
I do like, there's a couple of, that are sort of out of left field. In the Big Show, Shaquille O'Neal one we've teased a few times. CM Punk, Chris Jericho is going to be fantastic. Kane, Zack Ryder, I suppose I can see happening. Mick Foley +1 against Primo and Epico.
Well, I noticed that
Mick Foley plus Santino.
Well, I thought Santino, but maybe Ricardo, but Santino was the one in mind. Mick eliminated both of those guys from the Rumble. And I just felt if you're going to use Mick at WrestleMania, he's probably not at the stage of his career where he's going to hold up a great one-on-one match anymore. To put him in something like that helps the tag champions, would be a good bit of comic relief. They may even stick the belts on them because obviously they're tag champs at the moment.
I think it might just be a ref in something.
I've
got an idea.
Go on.
I've got an idea, and I would watch this. Karma Ziggler, Mick Foley, guest referee.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like that. Well,
nice.
They had the Ziggler
major hit for
thing
both
last
of them.
week, didn't they?
Well, they also had the Ziggler Karma thing of get out of the ring. And you remember the heat they got from the Jericho China thing.
Jericho hated that though. Jericho really didn't like. I mean, Karma's better than China, but Jericho
China
hated
can
doing
wrestle.
that.
Karma's a fantastic wrestler.
She's very, very good.
Yeah.
I really want to see Beth and Karma, and I think. I hate the term dream match, but sometimes there are dream matches that are
I think as
overtouched.
much as a Divas match, if you look at the Divas roster, you go, what's the best we can do? And that is the one that jumps out because I mean, Kelly can't even run the ropes.
No, if they split up Beth and Natty, then that would be very, very.
That's not what they
decent, but it won't be as good as
Anyone? 2012. Anyone? High five.
I'm gonna leave Brendan hanging for his high five. We'll return for the final part of the show in a couple of minutes after these messages. See you in a sec. Welcome back to the final part of the slam. Brendan's got more impressive guns than me, if I'm being honest. I'm Jim Smallman, joined today by Rob McNichol and Brendan Burns.
I'm just trying to counteract the gut. You
Breathe
get to a certain age, home stretch, baby.
I'll tell you what, we've been having a cracking day thus far. Last week, I always ask a question. You can message me via Twitter at Jim Smallman. Last week's question was, who would you like The Undertaker to be facing at the Royal Rumble? And up on the screen here, we can reveal the top... WrestleMania, well spotted. Who would you like The Undertaker to be facing at WrestleMania? Number 3 on the list was our lovely chum Mick Foley.
No, what's wrong with you people? Why would you do that to him? He can't. There's no way he, in his right mind, would let himself go into a match with Undertaker without doing horrible things to himself.
Yeah, he's got too much of a legacy.
Boo, wrong people, wrong.
I'm just happy we got a second chance to see that shirt and that wallpaper.
It's a lovely shirt. Number 2 on the list is who is probably that's a terrible photo. Take 2 CEOs into the shower. Triple H, who, let's be honest, he's probably going to be facing. Triple H has got the best of his moustaches there when he just basically looks like he wants to look like Lemmy.
He's got the Glenn Wool thing happening.
Does look like Glenn Wool.
The Glenn Wool, another comedian.
Another excellent comedian who likes wrestling.
He dabbles.
He dabbles. He's not like me and you.
No, you try and get him to mark out.
Not winners like we are.
Yeah.
And number 1 on the list, Brock Lesnar. Would you want them to do a match, Lesnar-Undertaker?
I'd be worried about Taker's health.
Yeah.
To be honest, a guy Taker's age, you have to put him in the ring with a ring general like Triple H or a Shawn Michaels, because Brock will snap him in half.
Yeah.
He's old.
Or he'll try and do a shooting star press and snap himself in half.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some. They all remark that his pain threshold is immense. And you think about it as well, like his angle for many years, where he wasn't allowed to show any pain, must have like made him like one of the most damaged, injured guys going. Because they put him in with I'm talking about Undertaker.
Yeah, I realize that.
Because they put him in the ring with so many monsters for so many years. He had to get them up and put them on a tombstone on your knees with nearly coming just shy of
with Mabel.
A metric ton.
Mark Henry,
Yeah, carrying Mabel or Yokozuna.
Yeah, that's like so much damage to the guy. So
that's why he's been walking so slow to the ring for years. It's nothing to do with effect.
Yeah,
it's just because he's
they all say as well, like backstage, he's an old guy, and something happens when he goes out there, and he just transforms.
Well, he does. I mean, the last few WrestleManias have proved that.
That's the same with the biggest one for that is Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You speak to Kurt, and the eyes are a bit glassy, and it's a bit of a bit slow moving around, and you put him in the ring, and it's just a different.
He's a shaky mess.
Can I just say lastly on Lesnar? I think that the important thing to remember is that at the end of the day, WWE is a business, and a big one at that. If you put Brock Lesnar on WrestleMania, you get at least another 100,000 buys, because there are a lot of people that have left wrestling, gone to MMA,
there's the crossover,
and they would look at, shall I watch this year? Cena, Rock, whatever. Lesnar, Undertaker.
But he's still signed to UFC.
He is.
And UFC's got their Fox deal, so surely as an analyst...
It's not going to happen this year, but if and when
maybe
it does,
next year.
it is big business.
Well, surely Dallas... Have we even discussed this yet? That Dallas next year must be Taker's last match.
For WrestleMania 29?
Yes. In Dallas, Texas, his home state.
But isn't the talk of it being in New Jersey?
About going to New Jersey.
Going to New Jersey.
Oh, I thought they teased with DX were saying, like, I understand you've got a big dome in Dallas now. Don't you want to put? Trying to get Dallas to petition? I thought the talk was them going
to Texas for 30 at the moment.
But I think they've got a problem because
no. Number 10's always at Madison Square Garden.
I think they've got college football in. That's the clash next year. Is there's college football being played at the new Dallas Stadium?
Because I'm looking forward to the teasing of, again, I like the build-up just as much as the match as me. And I'm looking forward to the teasing of the very real argument of Triple H saying, you're too old to do this. And Taker going, I'm not too old to do this. And him saying, I'm not, because that's what the pat was.
That's what the patronising pat was.
That was excellent.
That was great.
Gents, we could talk about WWE all day.
We could. We probably will.
We will when the show's finished. But we need to talk about TNA, because the TNA tapings were in this country.
Yep.
You went to the TNA tapings.
I went to every show, yeah.
And you met, you just mentioned Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was over. He was over for it, wasn't he?
Yeah, Kurt was over. I had a little chat to Kurt on Saturday night. A friend of mine is a magician. I introduced him to Kurt, and he did some tricks for him, and he was very impressed. But yeah, I saw some of the guys. 3 pretty good shows on the whole.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Now, obviously, we can't mention them yet. We can't mention what happened because I don't want to give spoilers away. But joining us on the Skype wall is Lee. Hello, Lee. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good, thank you, mate. You run a website, don't you, I'm led to believe?
Yeah, I do. I run a women's wrestling website called ringbellsonline.com.
Excellent stuff. Now, I'm going to presume if you like your women's wrestling, you're going to be more of a TNA fan than WWE fan, purely because of how they treat women's wrestling. They do treat it better, don't they?
Yeah, to a certain extent. The Knockouts are having a sort of renaissance period at the moment where they're having sort of longer matches and a bit more time and a bit more storyline. And so it's more interesting to watch TNA than WWE.
Yeah, I mean, I presume you went to a TNA show while they were over here?
I did. I went to the Nottingham show.
Ah, excellent stuff. What did you reckon? Because I've been to a couple of TNA house shows that they haven't recorded for TV, and I'll be honest, they've been cracking shows because they seem to have really gone out of the way to entertain the fans, which is brilliant. I mean, has that been the case with this tour as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I signed off going to WWE shows about 5 or 6 years ago because I felt I wasn't getting my money's worth for the action which was in the ring, and I got a chance to go to the TNA show, and I was a bit skeptical because of the TV. I'm not so much of a fan of Impact the show, but then I hear such good things about TNA the house shows, so I thought, right, I'll give it a shot, and I went along and I had a really good time.
Yeah, I won tickets to go a couple of years ago, and I went along, and I genuinely, my hopes weren't massive, but I really, really enjoyed the show. More, and I'm kind of with you. I'm not always a massive fan of the TV program, but I do think live it's good. Who was your sort of standouts from watching them over the course of the last sort of week or so? Who was your standout performers when you went to watch the show?
Oh, it's Bully Ray. I adored watching Bully Ray. He was fantastic at getting a crowd going. He was like a god in Nottingham on that night.
Well, I'm going to say I've been to the ECW arena when he was in the Dudleys, and
did you?
Yeah, he was insane. People hated him so much. He's one of the most effective heels I have ever seen, and it's good. I think Lee, you're right. I think it's good that TNA are giving him a bit more of a.
What was it like in the crowd there? Because like they always, as cliched as it sounds, they'd always argue that the crowd was the third character in every match.
It was insane.
Were they like? Was there fear of violence?
The ECW arena? No, not really. Not massively, but I go and watch football a lot, so it's not. But I think compared to most American sports, it was way more rowdy. I've been to watch American football and stuff like that. It was instantly more rowdy than anything else that I'd ever been to see. I've been to see ice hockey games between teams that hate each other, and the ECW arena was way more insane.
So, as a guy that hates Cena, did you like have an entirely different outlook on him after the ECW match?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah,
I mean, he worked that room as a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he did.
In terms
he did
of
exactly
room
what he
psychology, it was like, wow, this guy's something really special.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And you did watch it and go, and that's the thing. For much as I don't like seeing, I value him as a worker. I just don't like him as a character. Speaking as a TNA fan, Lee, if you obviously every now and again WWE comes calling, it's just sort of poach people from time to time. I know. Often recently, I don't think they've viewed TNA as a legitimate threat, even though they are. I mean, who would you say could potentially, more about the younger stars who perhaps haven't worked for WWE before, who do you think would be ripe for the picking by WWE if Vince came calling?
It's tough because it's almost a case of some of them who they could have got their hands on at a certain time. The boat's almost been missed with guys like Samoa Joe, for instance. I think it's a bit of a shame with that. But I think if they maybe got their hands on someone like a Bobby Roode and was able to maybe tinker with him a little bit and and just maybe give him a new look or something like that. I think Bobby Roode might be somebody who they might be quite interested in.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gunner's going to be like in the future, and he's got a look to him, but he's I don't know how far he's going to progress, but he might be one that WWE might have a look at. He's got the look, which they kind of like anyway.
Yeah, which they're always about, aren't they? Before we let you go, Lee, just give us your website a quick plug again, please, mate.
Okay, it's ringbellsonline.com. That's RINGBELLES online.com. It's a website that deals with all kinds of women's wrestling, whether it's WWE, TNA, Japan, UK, Europe, Canada, independent wrestling, the lot. We will cover everything. We will do news, views, and reviews. We've got the Women of Wrestling podcast with some of the best interviews with some of the best women in wrestling today.
That's one of the best plugs I've ever seen. Well done, mate. You rehearsed that. It was brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lee. Thanks for getting in touch.
Thanks for your time.
That's Lee. I had a little voice in my ear from Martin, our producer, going, he didn't say South America, which is obviously where they always hold title tournaments if there isn't really a title tournament.
Can I follow up one of his points there? Well,
Yeah.
one of your questions is that I think the answer to who the guy in TNA that WWE could work with is one of our own. It's Nick. It's Brutus Magnus.
Yeah.
I think his age, he's only about 24, 25. I think he's got a great look. He's a fantastic talker. And he's improved massively as a worker. I think he's the guy that would be perfect for WWE.
He's good in Ring Ka King as well. I
I've
don't know
seen the first
if
episode
Brendan,
of
if you've seen any of Ring Ka King yet.
What's that?
It's basically TNA's kind of Indian project that's for an Indian audience, and it's kind of like half early 90s WWE in terms of its presentation and half World of Sport, old British wrestling. It's really simplified for an audience that's never watched wrestling before, but it's really well put together.
You know,
and they're all available on YouTube, so if you do get a chance, look up Ring Ka King.
You know what's going to happen with that now, don't you? Is that the main guy in TNA is going to look onto that and he's going to make sure he's in Series 2. So Bollywood Hogan.
Nice. You've thought that through.
Pushing out from behind a hedge. Let me tell you something, brother.
We have to talk Jobber of the Week now, chaps.
Nice.
I came up with the Jobber of the Week this week. Very, very small run in WWE. You can see on the screen there is the legend that is MANTAUR.
But does he really count as a jobber?
Yeah, because he was there for about a cup of coffee, wasn't he? He was,
Okay, but he was still a push. That was still a pushed gimmick.
I think you could put him down as they referred to someone as a jobber to the stars, didn't they? Where they pushed him for about 2 months and then had them lose lots of time.
Drew McIntyre, basically. Before I thank you guys, I need to set another question for this week. If you want to get in touch with me, at Jim Smallman, that's my Twitter handle, at Jim Smallman. Get in touch. Every week we give you a question. This week's question is, if you could bring back any wrestling star from the 80s, at their peak of health to wrestle in the WWE now, who would you choose? So if you picked anyone, peak of wrestling, their wrestling ability from the 80s, who would you bring back to the WWE now? Then let me know, at Jim Smallman, that's the Twitter handle. Before we go, I will...
Can I answer that?
You can answer as long as you can answer in one word, because we've got to scoot.
Iron Mike Sharp.
I knew you were going to I just left me to thank my guests, Rob McNichol from The Sun, the wonderful Mr. Brendan Burns. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, my friend. And we'll probably won't see you before, so enjoy WrestleMania, you big show off.
I don't know, I might drop in. Can I come back?
Yeah, you can come back whenever you want.
I'll come back for the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Great.
Brendan's coming back.
It's in.
You've been watching The Slam. I've been Jim Smallman. We will see you next week, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers.